In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, the entirely merciful, and the especially merciful. O Allah, send blessings and salutations to the seal of prophets, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Today's discussion is on Zakatul Fitr. We are going to look at jurisprudential issues that have to do with Zakatul Fitr, the spiritual inclinations that have to do with Zakatul Fitr, and social dimensions that people are expected to understand. First thing first, we are going to look at the conceptual definition of this term Zakatul Fitr. Zakatul Fitr is a compulsory act of worship. That is the position of Zakatul Fitr. Is compulsory upon each and every Muslim. So it's an act of ibadah. Scholar says is an ibadah maliyah. That is the act of worship that has to do with giving out something that you have. Looking at this, we have three dimensions: financial obligation, spiritual purification, and social welfare mechanism. So this is where Zakatul Fitr is hinged on or focused on. It focuses on three things: financial obligation, spiritual purification, social welfare mechanism. And based on this, it links to fasting, that is sound, as zakat is linked to wealth. So anything that has to do with fasting, that is abstinence from eating, and zakat has to do with wealth. If you don't have wealth, you cannot give it out. So that is to say that Zakatul Fitr is a compulsory act of worship that Muslims do give out at the end of Ramadan, which is compulsory upon each and every one of them. What are the legal positions or legal foundations of Zakatul Fitr? Sharia looked at this as Sunnah and Ijma. So its obligation is established through these two things: Sunnah, that is primary evidence, explicit prophetic command, and number two is Ijma, that is consensus. So scholars are expected to understand that there are disagreements based on Ijma, but the end point is to give out as an act of ibadah. So scholars classify it as fard, that is obligatory, and wajib, that is compulsory upon each and every one of us, depending on madhab that ones follow also. So what are the juristic wisdom, that is hikmah, behind giving out Zakatul Fitr? So Zakatul Fitr fulfills dual objectives. It fulfills dual objectives. I'm going to take the first one. Number one, individual dimension. Number two, collective dimension. So if we look at individual dimension, it purifies fasting from lag, that is ill speech, or rafath, that is indecent conduct or sexual relations, anything that has to do with that. So in the course of your fasting, you might have transgressed against the limitations of Allah, either by doing idle speeches or ill speeches, or either by observing sexual relations that are not accepted, or indecent conduct that are not accepted in the sight of Allah. So this is one of the hikmah, or this is one of the wisdom of Zakatul Fitr. It purifies fasting. Number two, collective dimension. It establishes economic inclusion. It prevents marginalization during it. So it reinforces Ummah solidarity. So if you look at the wisdom behind Zakatul Fitr, these are the two things that we are expected to figure out. And not only this, we have the causes. What are the cause of obligation? That is sababul wujub, cause of obligation. Number one, scholars differ. That we know that one is obvious, but majority say possession of surplus provision beyond basic needs. If you have that surplus provision beyond basic need, you are expected to give it out. Others linked to sunset of the last day of Ramadan. So thus, obligation is tied to number one, time, number two, financial ability. So if you have that financial ability, that is istita'a, you can give it out. And not only this, time, you give it out when the sunset took place in the night of Eid. There are subject of obligation. When we say subject of obligation, we are referring to man tajib alayh. This zakah is obligatory upon some people. Who are these people? Number one, obligation extends to every Muslim individual. Every Muslim individual, including minors, dependents, even newborns before sunset, according to the majority of scholars. So these are the three categories of people that Zakat al-Fitr is obligatory upon them. Guiding the studies on behalf of dependents. So when we look at this, minors are expected to be part of those that will give out Zakat al-Fitr, and dependents, and not only these, even somebody that is being given birth to today is part of Zakat al-Fitr, or that person is expected to give out Zakat al-Fitr. So let us look at another aspect of Zakat al-Fitr, nature of payment, or nature of giving out this obligatory act of worship. There are two things, ayn or qima. When we say ayn, we are referring to the property to be given out without changing anything. When we say qima, we are referring to the equivalence of that particular thing that we are expected to give out. Scholarly difference, we are going to look at it. Majority are Maliki, Shafi, and Hanbali. They said Zakat al-Fitr must be given as food, that is ayn. You don't have that power to change it, either by giving it you give out money, or you give out coins or something that has to do with that. No, they said you should give food based on contextual adherence. So their position is based on contextual adherence. If you are to give out Zakat al-Fitr, you are expected to give out Zakat al-Fitr based on the food, based on the ayn. You are not supposed to change anything. Another position of scholars, like Hanafi position, he says there is permissibility of monetary equivalent. You can give out money, that is qima. You can give out money instead of what? Food or ayn. So anybody that deem it fit to give out money because of the person that is receiving is in their need of money, scholars like Hanafi, like Ibn Taymiyyah, they have figured out this. They said you can give out money as an equivalent of Zakatul Fitr, so to the needy person, to the poor people, to people that are being classified to collect Zakatul Fitr. Number two, based on maslaha, that is public interest. So based on public interest, Zakatul Fitr can be given out based on that. That is to say that you can give out qima. When we say qima, we are referring to monetary equivalent, or anything that has to do with that. You can give out Zakatul Fitr based on that. But we should understand, contemporary practice often what adopts flexibility. When we look at this, some people in their areas, they don't have all these things that we are talking about, but they have the money that we've mentioned now. So if you ask them to give out money, it will be good for them and it will be easier for them. The essence of giving out money, that is monetary equivalent, is for you to put smiles on the faces of these needy or indigent people that are in need of this Zakatul Fitr. That is the primary aim of Zakatul Fitr. The primary aim is for you to put smile on the faces of these people, is for you to at least give them that particular point, that particular thing that Allah says you should give them, so that they should stop asking people on the day of Salah that give me this, give me that. No, they are expected to be given something that will protect them, something that will hinge them somewhere, so that they will not go out and start asking people about anything that has to do with that. So let us look at the quantification, that is miqdar. When we say quantification, how many sa'i are you going to give? How many mudun nabi are you going to give? So scholars have explained that it's a fixed one sa. One sa'i is what you are expected to give. So if you don't know, one sa'i is the equivalent of approximately 2.5 to 3 kg of uh, staple food. So, but the juries have their own insight. Standardization ensures the said equity, predictability, ease of implementation. So these are some of the things. If you don't have the SAE, you can approximate. You can get the kg, 3 kg of food that we normally eat is what we are going to give out. And you can even make use of your hand. The handful, four times of your handful will make one sa'i. So this is what some scholars are saying, because any handful is just like mood. So sa'i has 4 different moods. So if you take a look at it, this is what we're expected to understand. You can make use of 4 moods that makes one sa'i. And I believe our community, our society, we have this kind of measure, and I believe it's not something that will give us difficulty. When do we supposed to give out zakat al-fitr? That is time frame. Waqtul ada. When do we supposed to give out zakat al-fitr? So we have Uh, three juristic windows. Number one, permissible. That is jawaz. Day 1 to 2 days before it. This is the period that you are expected to give out zakat al-fitr. Day 1 to 2 days before Eid al-Fitr. Number two is optional. That is for fadila. Before Eid al-prayer. Before Eid al-prayer, you are expected to give out zakat al-fitr. The last thing is dislike and invalid delay. After each prayer, zakat al-fitr becomes sadaqah. So you are not supposed to delay your zakat al-fitr. You are not supposed to delay your zakat al-fitr, because it has appointed time. It's just like the time of salat zuhur, or the time for zuhur prayer. If it passes, it has passed you already. So we should understand that zakat al-fitr has time frame. And this time frame, as I've mentioned, before Eid with 2 days or a day, or before going to the Eid day, that is, assuming today is Eid, before you go to Eid, you are expected to give out the zakat fitr. And there are disliked behavior or behaviors that invalidate your zakat fitr. After Salatul Eid, after we might have finished Salatul Eid, that is after prayer, if you didn't give out your zakatul fitr, it becomes sadaqah. It becomes sadaqah. So we should understand timing reflect urgency of social distribution of zakatul fitr. The next thing that we're expected to understand is uh, those that are expected to benefit from zakatul fitr, recipient of zakatul fitr. We call them masarif, people that are they will benefit from zakatul fitr. We have two views about this. Number one, broad distribution, that is same as zakat. 8 categories in Quran 9 verse 60. Allah mentioned these people, categories of people that are going to benefit, like the poor people, like the needy people, people that work on that, people that somebody that is traveling, and so these are some of the things. These are some of the categories of people that we are expected to give Zakatul Fitr to them. Like these poor people and needy people, we have many of them in our communities. So these are the people that you are expected to give them Zakatul Fitr. Number two, preferred restriction. They said Fukara and Masakin only. Some people just restrict themselves to these two categories of people or beneficiaries. Fukara, that is what I said, poor people, and Masakin, that is needy people. So these are the two restricted categories of people that are expected to benefit from Zakatul Fitr. That's why the father will have stronger view, prioritizing immediate poverty relief. So this is what we're expected to understand. We are to prioritize immediate poverty relief. So that is the end product or end objective of Zakatul Fitr. Giving out Zakatul Fitr just to prioritize immediate poverty relief. This is what we've mentioned before. Then we should look at the maqasid sharia, that what is the wisdom, higher wisdom behind giving out zakatul fitr. Despite the fact that we have mentioned it before, but there is need for us to brush it again. Zakatul fitr aligns with higher objectives, that is higher Islamic objective, that is maqasid sharia. Number one, Hifzuddin. It purifies worship. So that is one of the higher objectives of Zakatul Fitr. Number two, Hifzun Nafs. That is ensures sustenance. For you to protect somebody's life through Zakatul Fitr is the higher objective that Islam prioritizes. Number three is Hifzul Mal. That is redistribute wealth. It protects wealth because you are to give out something that will protect your wealth, something that Allah wants. So it serves as a microeconomic uh, uh, equalizer. So giving out zakat al-fitr um, takes care of these three things: hifzuddin, hifzun nafs, and hifzul mal. What are the contemporary issues now? I have brushed or I've mentioned some part of these contemporary issues. There are modern questions about zakat al-fitr. Is it ayn or qima? That is it the real food that we are expected to give out, or it monetary equivalent? There are discussions on this. So institutional collection like mosques and other organizations like that can advance their whatever, getting money so that they can build mosques, build orphanage houses or homes, and other Islamic institutions or Islamic activities like that. So you can give out monetary equivalent, as I've mentioned earlier. Uh, and not only this, there is what we call digital payment. Now somebody that is somewhere and he doesn't have this food close to him, he can monetize it. That is monetary equivalent of that particular thing that he may at least give out. He may monetize it and give out that particular zakah based on money also. So there are scholarly trends on this issue that I've mentioned that are increasing acceptance of: number one, cash equivalent; number two, centralized distribution system. So I have seen in this town somebody that have sent an account number of an Islamic organization that requesting Muslim brothers to send their zakatul fitr there, so that uh, organization can subsequently send it to the needy people and poor people in our community. So you can give it as cash equivalent, or you can use digital payment and give out your zakatul fitr. The reason why I'm saying this is because we want to get flexibility. Some of our brothers restrict this issue of zakatul fitr to food alone. No, Islam is flexible, and Islam does not restrict you that you must give out zakatul fitr based on food, despite the fact that some scholars are referring to the period of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, that There were money at that material time or equivalent of money at that material time, but the Holy Prophet ﷺ did not ask his companions to give out the monetary equivalent. He asked them to give out food. Yes, agreed, but we should understand at that material time, the position of Yusuf al-Qaradawi, one of the greatest Islamic scholars, he said, at that material time, the money that we are talking about is not much and the money is not in abundance at that material time. What was abundant or what was so much in place at that material time was food and its equivalent. So we should understand this. So he said at this material time that people prioritizes money, they like money, we can as well give out money instead of food for Zakatul Fitr. So another thing is common juristic errors. There are common juristic errors delaying beyond Eid prayer. So if you delay your Zakatul Fitr, you are doing that at your own peril. You are expected to give it out, as I've said, a day or 2 days before the prayer. Ignoring dependents, we should understand this. Miscalculating, sir, as I've mentioned, 4 mudu of Nabi makes one sa, or 2.5 to 3 kilogram make one sa. So we should understand, we should not miscalculate this. And not only this, treating it as optional charity. We should not treat Zakatul Fitr as optional charity. This is not optional, it's obligatory. It's obligatory upon each and every one of us. You are expected to give it out as a Muslim. If you are a Muslim, this is what Islam said you should do, that you should not change anything that Islam did not ask you to change. So it's obligatory upon a minor, upon uh, an adult, upon servants, and so. So let us look at people that you are not supposed to give them zakatul fitr. You are not supposed to give your wife zakatul fitr, no your daughter or children zakatul fitr, no your dependents zakatul fitr. You are not supposed to give your parents zakatul fitr. You are not supposed to give people that will spend their money or they will spend what you've given to them in the course of transgressing the limitations of Allah. They will go and buy alcohol, or they will just enter gambling, or anything that has to do with narcotic substances or psychotropic substances. You are not supposed to give people that have taken their life in enjoying things like that, or somebody that you know, if you give him that money, he will just go and use it for gambling. You are not supposed to give that person. And not only that, another set of people that you are not supposed to give them zakatul fitr are the lineage of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Banu Hashim. You are not supposed to give them zakatul fitr because they don't collect zakatul fitr. This is what the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has initiated in different traditions, that we should not give Banu Hashim Zakatul Fitr, because they are more than Zakatul Fitr. What we are expected to give them, we are expected to respect them and give them something that passed Zakatul Fitr also. So these are some of the things that a Muslim is expected to note in the course of